Black Business Matter Expo. What's going on? This is Brian Oles coming at you, president and founder here at Black Speakers Network, where our mission is to equip, connect, and inspire the next generation of Black professional speakers. And we are diving right into this conversation on transform your voice into a money magnet for your business. Now, how does that sound? Like, how does that hit your ear? How would you like to be able to use your voice as a money magnet for your business? Believe it or not, over 30,000 meetings, presentations, conferences, seminars, workshops, opportunity for you to actually use your voice as a thought leader in your business take place every single week. And as an entrepreneur, if you're not leveraging some of the opportunities that we're talking about here today, you are leaving money on the table. And so we absolutely don't want that. At Black Speakers Network, we're all about making sure that we're connecting you to your ideal audience. And here at the Black Business Matters Expo, I know that you've been taking deep dives into topics like marketing, understanding your core business audience, getting an idea of what is your core value proposition, as well as connecting with other amazing Black entrepreneurs. And so our topic today is just going to extend all the amazing lessons that you're learning so far at the expo and take it to the next level. And so I am super excited. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right on in. So first of all, why does the world need your voice, guys? Listen, we work with thousands of speakers all across the country, and every single one of them has an opportunity to make an impact in one of these four areas. You might be thinking to yourself, Brian, I'm not a speaker, or Brian, I don't even, have any experience as a speaker or as a facilitator. But don't worry, I'm here to tell you that regardless of where you are, whether you're just starting out or maybe you've been speaking for years, there are four major compelling reasons why the world needs your voice. And you can see them right here. Number one, people are hurting. Obviously, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, which is why I applaud the Afro for even creating this opportunity to bring Black business together, because we're hurting. People are frustrated, they're scared, they're tired. And this isn't exclusive to the pandemic. This is in general. Like, people are in pain from a number of different things. And so you have the opportunity to be the solution to that pain. Also, there are some people that only you can reach. Believe it or not, no matter how great some other speaker in the world is, there's no you. You're the only version. And that's the reason why, I really try to have speakers shy away from things like, I want to be the next Oprah, or I want to be the next Obama, or I want to be the next this. Like, no, there's only one you. And there are some people that are only going to connect and resonate with your voice. The other thing is, of course, we're talking about freedom and control. And so freedom and control, your ability to decide exactly what it is that you do every single day, who you decide to work with, how many people that you want to work with, how you're structuring your business, and what your lifestyle really looks like is a big reason for leveraging your voice as a money magnet. The reality is that when you get great at taking out content in your head and repurposing it for an audience, that can show up in many ways. And we're going to talk about at least 20 ways throughout this presentation that you can monetize your message. But you could do that in an office building, you could do that in a boardroom, or you could do that on a beach, as seen here, anywhere in the world. And so that's one thing I'm really excited about. And then last but not least, being able to grow your business. And if you're a nonprofit leader, same thing, being able to bring in revenue that's actually going to be able to fund your dreams, to fund your goals, and to help you ultimately serve more people and live the type of life that you want. And so if you haven't thought about speaking yet, those are some compelling things. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Brian, that's great, but what does this industry actually look like? Well, here's some information by the numbers. If you're not familiar with the speaking business, or if you don't know anybody else that is in this industry, you may be thinking, well, how much money is really out there? Here's my answer. A lot. And so the best data that we can get is around the self-improvement market. And so market data does these studies every 2 years. So we should have updated data actually later this year. But for now, going back to 2019 data, 2018, 2019, when they did it, the speaking the self-improvement market, which is encompassing of speaking, coaching, book sales, all of those things combined, is an $11 billion market. And it's projected to grow to over nearly $14 billion by 2023. Now, those are really big numbers, but let's break it down. Self-improvements. A lot of people have a goal to be an author, or some of you have already in the process of writing books. And sometimes people are like, books are dying. Let me tell you, books are not dying. People are reading books more than ever. And so self-improvement books, that's a $992 million market with 8% growth. Audiobooks is the fastest growing segment of this entire space. And that book sales for that are $364 million. That's a 24% growth. Coaching, working directly, either one-on-one or in a group capacity with someone else, is a juggernaut. Over $1.43 billion spent on personal coaching. That's a 4% growth. And then, of course, motivational speaking, which, I use the term motivation in air quotes because I imagine that this isn't all just motivational speaking. There are speakers who are sharing their thought leadership on a number of different topics: health and nutrition, science and technology, personal finance, leadership. And so whatever business that you're in, there is a market that is searching for speakers, really all the time. You could be somewhere speaking right now and getting paid for it. But the speaking business just alone, cut out from that 11 billion, represents a $1 billion in annual revenue earned. And so if you break that out in the United States, and again, this is 2018 numbers, these are probably increased since then. But if you look at, there are over 5,000 speakers, over 5,000 public speakers who earned revenue, generated over $1 billion. And the top 9 guys earned over $188 million. And so, I'm not putting this here as you can do it too, but literally you can do it too. And you don't have to be earning $188 million. Many of you would be fine if you're as a speaker. How many of you would be good if you earned an extra $1,000 or extra $5,000 or even $100,000 a year would make a significant impact. And most speakers that are coming in are coming from one of two perspectives. You're either building kind of a personal brand. So Brian Oles as the speaker is out there, and I'm growing my products and our services, my coaching programs, or you are leveraging speaking to grow, whatever business you currently have or whatever business that you're planning to go. So whichever space you find yourself in, I want you to know that this is the total pie. And if you're not getting a piece of any of these categories right now, it's something that you should take a look at. Okay, so a couple things about me. You're like, who the heck is this guy yelling at me? Well, again, my name is Brian Olds. I did found Black Speakers Network in 2016, but what I like to tell people is that, I'm just a kid from Baltimore, and y'all know Baltimore, Maryland, we're known for a couple of things. Obviously, amazing seafood. It's just a good place to be. But I'm a kid from Baltimore. I would say the skinny kid from Baltimore, gained a few pounds since, but very proud to be from this area. I fell in love with science, technology, engineering. I actually went to Morgan State University with the goal of being, I was in electrical engineering, but I had a goal of being an aerospace engineer. Hit calculus 2, and I was like, let me just go see what the School of Business is talking about. And so I just really didn't have the aptitude for that, but it actually ended up being, one of the best decisions that I made. I went on to graduate from Morgan, and eventually I spent 11 years working in corporate America, started BSN in 2016. And went full-time, grew the business now to well over six figures for multiple years now. Left my full-time job in 2019 and have been running the business ever since. And so definitely want to share a lot of everything that I'm sharing today is the behind the scenes of what attributed to that. And speaking is definitely at the forefront. And last but not least, I'm a certified introvert. Normally, I have my certified introvert shirt on. You'll see that if you follow me on LinkedIn. I'm very proud of that. I enjoy time to myself, and I was probably the person voted least likely to be speaking at all. And so, if you're a person out here that you feel like you don't have the personality to be a speaker, or you're a little bit more shy, or you just you naturally don't seek out the crowd, don't worry. That was me too. In fact, if you have been sitting next to me in 2006 at Morgan State University, this was after I left engineering and ended up in the School of Business. It was you would have watched as I stood up, walked to the front of the room, and prepared to deliver my very first speech in Toastmasters. And now, if you're not familiar with Toastmasters, it's an amazing organization. It's a place that you can join. There are clubs all around the world, and you practice the art of public speaking. And as I mentioned, I was a certified introvert. I didn't feel like I could lead two people, guys, in silent prayer, let alone move a crowd, an audience to do anything. But I signed up for this program because I remember hearing a quote saying that everything that you want in life, everything, and this applies to everyone here at the expo, everything that you want in life is waiting for you right on the other side of your comfort zone. And so if you are wanting to be an entrepreneur, if you're wanting to grow your business to six figures, seven figures, eight figures, if you're looking to write a book, if you're looking to launch a course, if you're looking to do anything, all those things are waiting for you, but you're going to have to do something that disrupts your comfort zone. And for me, Toastmasters was that. Like, I didn't know exactly what my career was going to be, but I knew that there was going to be something there. And so I volunteered to be one of the first speakers. And if you've been sitting in that first row, you would have noticed some changes. You would have noticed my sweaty palms. I was trembling, holding my notes as I get ready to speak. Once the speech started, you would have heard my shaking voice. My words started to crack literally under the weight of the pressure that I was putting on myself. And in this particular picture, let me go back to the picture. In this particular picture, the door is actually open. It wasn't closed. And so I almost, like, at one point walked out of the room. I had my friend, his name is Deepo Adesina. He was in the back trying to wave me back in. Like, well, bro, where are you going? So all of these things were happening, but I eventually made it to the end of my presentation. And Toastmasters, if you're going to speak, I highly recommend seeking out a Toastmasters club just to practice and get feedback, because it is a really encouraging environment. They gave me a round of applause, which felt good. But the most important thing, guys, is I realized that if I can deliver one speech and live to tell about it, I could deliver two. And in 2006, that's exactly what happened. Two turned into four, four turned into six. I eventually did my first 10 speeches. I got confidence started to go up. I started speaking outside of Toastmasters. I got my first paid speaking engagement, on and on and on until it brought me to this place today. But I shared a story with you to let you know, through the sweaty palms and the shaky voice, if that's the place where you're starting, then this is absolutely an industry that you can dominate. And it's not because you have to be the best speaker, but it's because there are some simple things that you could put in place starting today to ensure that you're positioning yourself in front of the audience that you're called to serve. And so enter BSN. I started BSN again in 2016. As I stated, our mission is to equip, connect, and inspire the next generation of Black professional speakers. Next generation doesn't have anything to do with age, but it does have to do with people who raise their hand and say, yes, I want to be a speaker. I'm very proud to serve a community of well over 12,000 current and aspiring speakers, meeting planners, podcast hosts, supporters, as well as partners. So that's what it is. So when people join Black Speakers Network and they come into our community, guys, they're normally asking three questions. They already know they want to be a speaker. But here are the three questions we get over and over again. Number one, how do I get started as a speaker? Like, what do I do? Like, I see people out here speaking. Like, what does it look like? Do I just, show up? Do I send a proposal? Like, what does it actually look like? Number two, how do I find paid speaking engagements? And how much do I even charge? Like, do I, there's no manual. Like, how do I even know what I'm worth? And then number three is, who can actually help me in this process? Like, who can I lean on? Do you have mentors? Do you have coaches? Do you have programs? Like, how do I learn these things? And so, my background, I mentioned I spent 11 years in corporate America. I worked for one of the largest staffing recruiting agencies in the world. I worked in finance. I worked in training and development. I eventually went back to school to study instructional design and adult learning. And so what you'll find from me is that everything is always packaged into some sort of model, because models help people learn. And so with us, as I started talking to hundreds of speakers and working with individuals and figuring out where they got stuck, we realized we had to develop a model for actually teaching the speaking business, something simple that people can wrap their arms around. And so we came up with what I'm going to share with you today in the few minutes that I have left, and that is the 5M model for professional speaking success. 5 M's. And so if you've ever been in the BSN community, by the way, if you're here from Black Speakers Network, what's up? Give us a hashtag BSN in the building, wherever you have the opportunity to comment. Maybe screenshot this, let people know that you're here, and make sure that you tag the Black Business Expo and let people know what you're learning. But we have these 5 M's, these 5M model for developing speaking success. And so we talk about this all the time: getting clarity on your mission, your message, your marketing, how to monetize, and how to manage your speaking business. And so these 5 M's are critical in ensuring that you're setting yourself up for success. And so throughout the course of this presentation, we're going to dive into these 5 M's. And in BSN, if you want more information on how to, go deeper, because, we don't have time to go into everything, but I will share with you how you can continue to learn more about each of these 5 M's. And because you're at the Black Business Matters Expo and you took time out of your day, you're investing into yourself, I'm actually going to share a secret, what I like to call a bonus M, at the end. So make sure you stick around for that. So if you're ready for the 5 M's, give me I'm ready. And I'm gonna just assume you said I'm ready. So let's go. All right, so the first M, of course, is mission. So here's the question that everybody has to answer. Why do I want to be a speaker? Now, guess what? You probably had to answer the same question when you started your business, or if you're in the process of actually starting your business. You had to ask yourself, why do I even want to do this in the first place? There are a ton of different ways to make money. Why do I want to be an entrepreneur? Why do I want to be a speaker? So the exact same process. And so again, I love models. And so within Mission, there's a really simple model called the speaker sweet spot that we walk our speakers through. And this is really how you determine where it is that you're going to focus as a speaker. So the first thing you want to do is focus on your passion, or figure out, hey, what is it that I love to do? There's a lot of stuff that I love. I love anime. I love sci-fi. Of course, I love speaking. I love Hamilton now. Like, there's many, many things that I love. And so what you want to do is take inventory of the things that you just don't, not just the things that you, kind of have a passing interest in, but what can you talk about all day? Like, what can you get on the phone? Somebody wake you up 2 o'clock in the morning, or you get on the phone and you can just talk about for hours and hours and hours. That's how you know that you're passionate about it. The next thing is your expertise. What do you know really well, or what are you committed to learning above and beyond most people in your circle? And one of the things you want to really think about here is there's probably some things in your life that people ask you about all the time, things that come naturally to you. Maybe technology really well. Maybe you understand like psychology. There are certain things that are probably that feel very natural to you, but other people will struggle with, and they will ask you for the advice. So pay attention to those things. And then next, of course, is market demand. And so this is where the rubber meets the road, because you could be passionate about something, you can know a lot, but people have to actually want it and actually want to pay for it. And so market demand, if people are already spending money in that category, it's a pretty good indication that there's some sort of market demand. You really don't want to be the person that's creating something brand new that people haven't heard about at all. But every single of that $1 billion that we mentioned earlier, every single year, people are spending millions on leadership development, personal fitness, personal finances, understanding how to create better habits, um, you know, IT security. I mean, there are hundreds of topics that people are actively searching for. And so all you have to do is go to sites like Amazon and search by category and see where people are buying. You can get the data on that. So this is your put them all together, right? This is your speaker sweet spot. So this is the place where you want to operate as a speaker. You want to be at the intersection of the thing that you're passionate about, the place where you have demonstrated expertise, and the place where people will pay. And if you're operating there, we have a little phrase, well, I have a personal phrase that we've adopted in BSN. So every single day, my goal is to have fun, make an impact, and make money. Have fun, make an impact, and make money. And you can too. So if you're trying to figure out where to start, and maybe you don't have a topic or you haven't done any speaking, really take some time and do an inventory of the things that you're passionate about. Do an inventory of all the things that you know, whether it be on the job training, high school, college education, certifications, and don't forget about the things that you even if you don't have a certification for, but you've helped people solve specific problems. Take an inventory of all of that. If you're having trouble, just maybe call up 5 of your closest people and say, hey, what am I good at? And go from there. And then market demand, figure out what people are already buying, and that will help you figure out your sweet spot. So the next M, we're rolling right through. Mentioned we got 5 M's and a secret bonus M coming. We're on our second M now, and that is message. Your message. And as you can imagine, as a speaker, you want to do one thing, and that's master the art of effective presentation. Can't be a speaker if you, at a minimum, can't develop an effective talk. And so here's some keys. And I mentioned earlier, Toastmasters. This is an area that Toastmasters focuses on exclusively. A lot of times, people are trying to figure out, what should I do? Should I join BSN? Should I join Toastmasters? Should I sign up for, a speech coach? The answer is yes. You're going to need all of those, at some point. But Toastmasters primarily just focuses on this M, that is the message, whereas BSN, we're focused on building the entire speaker business. So here we go. How to develop a signature talk. I'm going to give you 3, and again, this is overly simplified, but if you just do these things, if you start today, then I guarantee you'll be on a path to getting this done. So number 1, once you go through the speaker sweet spot model that we just covered, what you want to do is pick a topic that people are asking you about or searching for. And so you want to pick something that is going to have a demand. And so, for example, one of my topics is the 5 C's of crafting powerful presentations. People are always asking me, hey, Brian, you're always speaking, how do you put together an effective presentation? So I'm like, you know what? Good question. You need the 5 C's of crafting powerful presentation, or this presentation today, how to turn your voice into a money magnet, which goes into number 2. You need to create a compelling title and a description. People aren't just going to this talk is going to be something that you're going to be marketing to organizations, schools, colleges, universities, conferences. And so it has to be something that if you read it, you should say, ooh, I would want to attend that. And so once you create it's not just enough to have a great presentation. Somebody actually has to want to sign up for it or attend it. And so think about all of your stuff from the perspective, not your perspective, but from the perspective of the person who's going to be booking you to speak. Is this something that their people would want to attend based on the title and the description? So make it sexy. And then the third thing is you want to deliver this talk over and over and over again. Oftentimes, one of the areas that speakers struggle with is, and I fell into this myself, which is basically anytime someone would ask me to speak on a different topic, I would say yes. And so one day I was speaking on time management. The next day I was speaking on leadership. Next day I was speaking on, crime prevention, like whatever people wanted me to speak on, I would just, put together a top topic. But that's not helping to build your expertise, and it's certainly not helping you or your business stand out. And so you want to develop one signature talk that you could deliver over and over and over again. I want to say at least 20 times in a calendar year, and that's at the minimum, but you want to deliver that thing as much as possible. That includes podcasts, all that good stuff. And so take one speech. Once you have one signature talk down, then you could develop others, but you certainly want to start with one. Now, elements of a signature talk. What actually goes into it? How do you create this? And again, oversimplified for the purpose of the expo, but here we go. You want to have an opening story. Now, there are a lot of ways to open a signature talk. I don't have time to go through all of them, but the opening story, like if you're going to open and close a presentation, I'm just going to recommend starting with a story, a short 2 to 5 minutes, something related to that specific message where you can bring people into the experience. The heart of public speaking is storytelling. And again, if you don't know how to put together a story, and if you're like, hey, I need help with this, then that's what Black Speakers Network is for. Come talk to us and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. We have some amazing partners that do amazing storytelling program throughout the year. But stories sell, stories connect. So make sure that you spend some time focusing on the story. Once you have your opening story, you want to frame your message. So that's like the first 2 to 5 minutes of your presentation. You want to let your audience know a couple things. Number one, you want to give them a roadmap. So let them know what it is that you're going to be talking about. If you notice in the beginning of this presentation, I gave you a pretty simple roadmap. I said we have the 5 M's of building effective speaking. And so mission, message, marketing, how to monetize, how to manage, that was going to be our framework. And so you knew right away there was going to be 5 points with a secret 6 points. So let your audience know what it is that you're going to be talking about, maybe how long you're going to be speaking so they can follow along with you and visualize it. If you have handouts, that's good too, or things like this where people can follow along. And you also want to deliver some type of promise. Let people know what they're going to get out of your presentation. So that's why in the beginning of this presentation, we spent a lot of time talking about the speaking industry, $1 billion, what you can achieve, freedom, lifestyle, like the things that hopefully you care about. If you're still watching up to this point, those are the type of things that you want to have your audience really buy into. Every presentation, you're going to have key points. And so that's your core message that you're going to have. Now, you don't just say your key point, you want to anchor it and make sure that you have something that's going to help people remember what it is that point is. And so we call those things anchor stories. And so again, storytelling is super, super important. And you can have 1 point if it's a short talk. So if it's 15 minutes, you may only have time for 1 point. If it's a 30-minute talk, you may have time for 2 to 4 points. If it's a 60-minute talk, you may have time up to 5 points. But generally, the rule of 3 is always very healthy. People can typically remember about 3 to 5 points. Beyond that, it gets kind of difficult for them to recall without some sort of handout or materials or something like that. But so you do 1 to 3 points and then a conclusion. In the conclusion, you're not introducing any new information. You're just recapping what you already had said. So my favorite phrase in speaking is, you want to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And so that's, essentially what we're doing. You want to have a strong call to action. And so whatever it is that you want people to do after your presentation. And the call to action could be as simple as, sign up on my website. It could be a text message out there and, hey, text here for more information about my business, or text here to get more information. You could be pointing them to, a free resource, whatever it is. Make sure you have some sort of call to action. And then just like you close open with a powerful story, I recommend having a powerful closing story as well. So those are your elements of a signature talk. And so I've spent the majority of this presentation on mission and message with intention. We only have a few minutes left. And so we're going to run through marketing, monetize, and management. But I intentionally am spending most of our time there because these, ironically, as important as they are, people like to skip right over them, right into, how do I market? Like, I need a website, or, how do I make money? But I'm telling you, these two elements, the mission and the message, is where you want to spend a good amount of time making sure that you have down. The number one marketing tool in a speaker's toolbox isn't a website, and which we're about to talk about, and some of the other tools. These are all great, but you need to have a great presentation. And more importantly, if that presentation is highly targeted to your target audience, going back to the speaker sweet spot, even better. I've known speakers who don't even have a website, don't even have, professional materials, but they get booked time and time again through word of mouth, through referral. And that is how most speakers are finding opportunity. And so really make sure that you nail these. But we're going to go through the next three, hit you with the bonus M, and then I'm going to release you back to the rest of the expo. So let's talk about marketing. So obviously, you're going to want to develop strategies to reach and engage your target audience. For us here at Black Speakers Network, you can have the best message in the world, but we know that nobody can find you if you don't have the right marketing materials. So here are some basics. Number one, you want to have a professional bio. This bio should be focused specifically on the what you do as a speaker. It shouldn't be your entire life story. And you really want to have it professionally written so that it is compelling, grammatically correct, and accurate. You're also going to need professional photos, headshots, things that express your personality. And so a lot of times with me, you'll see that I'm normally in blue because that's our colors. I'm normally wearing like a black shirt with something on it, and maybe like a sports jacket or something. So you really want to have some photos that express your personality, professional headshots at a minimum, regardless of where you speak, whether it's a podcast or if you're going on TV. These are the minimum things they're going to ask for: your bio and your headshot. So you want to make sure that you're putting some money into these things. It's nothing worse than trying to be a professional speaker with amateur materials. Speaker video and sizzle reel. Every time you speak, you should try to get some video. Now, you may not be able to bring a videographer out. A lot of us are speaking virtually now, of course, throughout the pandemic. We expect that trend to continue throughout 21 and into 2022. Virtual engagements are here to stay. But the great part about virtual engagements is that it should be really easy for you to get compelling video. And so if you're not asking for the video, the replay, the download from the places that you speak, make sure you're getting that. Also asking for testimonials. You want to be able to get those sound bites, not only from the meeting planner, but the reaction from the audience, the people that heard you speak, so that you could use that into your marketing materials moving forward. Obviously, you want to have some sort of web presence. It is 2021. The first thing that people are going to do when they hear about you is not go to your website. Nobody knows what your website is. They are going to, you guessed it, Google you. And when they Google you, you want to be able to control the top things that come up, and having a speaker website is the easiest way to do that. On that speaker website, you want to have all the things I just listed above: your bio, your photo, video of you speaking, testimonials, a list or logos of past places that you spoke or media outlets that you've been featured in, and of course, a way to get in contact with you. And if you need a speaker website, we have one of the best vendors for developing speaker website. You could have your speaker website done at the end of this week. and it is at a most cost-effective price in the industry. So we can absolutely help you with that. Excuse me. Speaker One Sheet, also known as an EPK or electronic press kit. This is another tool for your toolbox. And again, I'm putting it last because it's typically going to incorporate all the elements above into this. But again, another nice of collateral that you can share with your meeting planners and people who want to book you. All right, let's jump into monetize, one of everybody's favorite subject. So with monetize, obviously our goal is to be able to make money as a speaker. Now there are some myths as it relates to monetizing your speaking business. I think a lot of people think that you could just kind of get started speaking, and you hear about people, we heard about the top 9 speakers in the beginning earning $188 million, but the reality is that you don't need to start out that way. Now there are a lot of models where you can get paid quickly if you're doing training and some of the things that we're going to cover. But in general, you don't need to be paid up front for every single speaking engagement in order to generate revenue. And in fact, most of that $188 million that you saw are sales generated on the back end. And so I love getting email notifications from any of these logos down here: PayPal, Stripe, Cash is still king. You want to be developing multiple streams of revenue as a speaker. And so here's some ways to do this. I'm going to share 20 different ways very briefly on how to get through this. Now, we have detailed trainings for all of these for the most part within the BSN community, but here we go. So most people know about number 1, which is getting your speaker fee, your upfront fee. So you might be charging $1,500 a presentation, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Typically, those are going to be for keynotes, or those are going to be for trainings, or sometimes you may have heard the term honorarium. So if a organization doesn't have a defined speaker budget, they may say, well, we want you to come speak for a lunch and learn, or we can, pay, up to $2,000, and you may decide to accept that as an honorarium. So those are your speaking fees. But there are a ton of other ways to monetize your message, as you can see. Physical books. We already talked about how physical books are continuing to grow 8% every single year. Workbooks, ebooks, and audiobooks. So ebooks, most of you, you have an ebook, you've written articles, you've written Facebook posts, you have things that you can monetize into an ebook right away. Ebooks are also great to be able to give away, as you'll see in a few moments. But we have digital downloads. You can create a PDF, MP3s. My very first digital product was a $5 PDF download. It was called 51 Online Resources Defining Book Speaking Engagements. It was $5, but we made hundreds of dollars off of a $5 product. And so you could do that too. By the way, I did it. I came home from work one evening. I was still working full time. I sat down at my computer at like 9 o'clock. By midnight, I was done. And so something that was in my head was earning me revenue like 12 hours later. So you could do that as well. Online courses, you have membership and subscription sites. Obviously, that's our business model here at BSN. You could join affiliate programs, which is exciting because you don't even need to promote your own products. If you're speaking to an audience, and let's say somebody else has another program, another workbook, any of these things listed here, and you sign up as an affiliate, you share that link. If somebody purchases, you're making money. And so you don't even have to spend months and months creating something of your own. You can do that eventually, but you can start off as an affiliate. And we have lots of great affiliate partnerships in BSN. You can host your own event, just like here. Hopefully, if you're at this Black Business Matter Expo, you shouldn't just be at the expo like, oh, oh, well, this is a good expo. Like, no, you should be taking notes. Like, who could you bring in as a speaker for your next event? Hint, hint. Who can how can you model the technology? How can you model the experience? So you should be, thinking about how you can host your own experience and start building your own brand from that perspective. Certainly brand sponsorships, influencer marketing, securing other brands to come in and help offset the cost of some of your programming. Coaching, we already heard about that. Over $1 billion taking place through coaching now. And then 11 through 20, we have consulting, VIP days. And so you can actually create experiences. They don't even have to be here in the United States. Whenever the world opens back up, best believe that people will be paying for experiences blended with our ability to learn. So that could be Costa Rica. I have friends that, take people on small excursions around the world. That could be here in the US. That could be something where you're bringing people in one-on-one and spending entire days with them. We have people that are charging $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 just for direct access to you. To walk them through, whatever challenge that they're dealing with. But you have evergreen webinars. Those are webinars that you can kind of set to be playing in the background. Again, you're sleeping, but everybody else is learning and paying you for what they learn. So that's a great model. You can license your content out. So if you're creating products or programs, that's why you see all these trademarks everywhere. You can actually deliver that to another organization and they could pay you on an ongoing basis, typically annually, to be for the right to use that content in their organization. CDs and DVDs. Some of you might be like, what the heck are those? But people are still buying those, and they could be great products. You could start your own affiliate program. So before, you were buying other people's programs, you were getting other people's programs and selling them, and then they're paying you a percentage. Now, once you have your own stuff, you could then put that out, and then other people will be selling your products or services on your behalf, and you just give them a percentage. Podcasting right now is really huge. And of course, you can monetize your podcast. Anthology book projects where you're inviting other people in to co-author with you, and then you're all marketing a book. Our first book, Speak Up, was done that way. Online ad revenue for websites that you might manage, or even social media pages that you manage, and then agency. So you can actually create like a done for you service, hire other people to deliver your product and service, and then reap the benefits. And so I have this quote down here. My guy, Jonathan Pasley, one of my first lessons in internet marketing, he said, repackage, repurpose, and repeat. And so there's no excuse for not being able to monetize your message. And if you're in that mindset of, I just need to find a paid speaking engagement, I'm going to tell you to stop it. Don't worry about getting paid speaking engagement. What you need to worry about is getting your message out there consistently and figuring out one of these 20 strategies to monetize your message, either on the front end or the back end. Really quick, let's talk about management. Management, you want to create systems and processes to manage and grow your speaking business. So here's some of the basics. Number one, you're obviously going to need some sort of email marketing or customer relationship management tool. I believe that we are in the era where every single business, regardless, even if you don't take anything else from this, as a company, as a small business, medium size, whatever, you're going to be building a list. And that list is going to be infinitely valuable for you into the future. Okay, how many social media followers you have, whatever. Like the email list continues to be the largest revenue driver for us, and you are going to want to focus on building your own list as well. But there are a number of different automation tools that you will eventually need access to, just to make life easier for yourself and to start to have these tools talk to each other. Some of these logos down here, we use ActiveCampaign, Zapier, Squarespace. MemberSpace has been an incredible partner for us on the membership management side. You may need to bring in a virtual assistant or some sort of admin to help you. And obviously, payment and invoicing, Stripe, PayPal, other payment processors. So the overarching idea is that as a speaker, as an entrepreneur, just like any other business, you are going to need systems. And I got this quote down here from Dr. George Frazier. Absolutely agree. He says ideas are good, but systems are better. And what you're sitting in right now is a system. The Black Business Matters Expo is a system. Somebody had to come together and put together a website. Somebody had to create a marketing team. Somebody had to find the speaker. Like, this is a system. Somebody could add an idea. We could just say, anybody could put together a social media post and say, buy Black, make sure you go buy Black this weekend. It's a whole nother thing to bring together an expo and make sure that people are able to benefit. And that's why, I respect what the Afro and all of the partners, sponsors, and people that put this together. That's why I respect that so much, because systems is where it's at. If you want to build a successful business of any kind, but particularly as a speaker, you really are going to focus in on these systems. All right, so those are the 5 M's, guys. We are absolutely done as it relates to that. I did mention one secret bonus M. And so for those of you that were sitting around like, what the heck is that? Here's your reward. What's the secret M? The secret M is mindset. You absolutely want to make sure that you're adopting the right mindset. And so here are some mindset shifts that you just want to be focusing on as a speaker. And again, these are things that we see at BSN all the time. Number one, building a speaking business is a marathon, not a sprint. You are in this hopefully for many, many decades, but certainly you want to adopt a long-term mindset in building your business. And so not being worried about, what's happened today, what's happened tomorrow. Stay focused on building relationships. Number two, there are some stages that you will never be invited to, and that's okay. Not every speaker is going to get an opportunity to speak on every single stage that you have in mind. You're going to, send proposals and things of that nature, but it's fine. You will speak in the places that you're supposed to speak. You have the knowledge and skill right now that other people are praying for. We talked about that earlier, but just know that you are good enough right now. You are good enough right now to be not only helping people, but also earning money in this industry. Your success and wealth will grow in direct proportion to the number of people you serve and the size of the problem that you are solving. If you want to raise at any time, all you have to do to decide, hey, how can I help more people, or how can I solve a bigger problem? And then lastly, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with others. You can be out here as a speaker trying to build this thing by yourself, or you can connect with resources, associations, communities who are dedicated to doing the same thing you are, and partner with those individuals to actually make it happen. And so to that end, Black Speakers Network is here. I'm going to invite you to join. We have a very vibrant community, well over 10,000. It's up to 12,000 now, actually, of professional speakers. We have a free Facebook community that I invite you to join. You could do that at bit.ly/BSNFB. That's all lowercase. bit.ly BSNFB. If you want to take a moment and jot that down or put it into your browser, go it over on join, and be sure to leave your email address when you join, because I want to make sure that you all walk away for coming to the Black Business Matter Expo. I want to make sure that you get a copy of our best-selling book, Speak Up, The Ultimate Guide to Dominate in the Speaking Industry. I have a chapter in there on Find Your Stage, building a strategy to stay consistently booked. But we have 35 experts in this book, and we break it down from how to price yourself as a speaker, how to what should be on your speaker website, how to leverage panels and workshops, you name it. And so this is kind of like the entry level book into the speaking business. We also have two folks bookend, two legends in the speaking industry, Les Brown and Dr. George Frazier. If you heard those names, are included as well. So we want to make sure that we give this to you as our gift, again, just for joining the free BSN Facebook community. So you can go to bit.ly/BSNFB, bit.ly BSNFB. Remember, you have to leave your email in order to get the book. That's the only way we can send it to you. But if you do that, then obviously we're looking forward to having you there. Once you're in the community, we do free trainings every single week. You'll be able to see our library of other trainings that we've done as well around the 5Ms. So if you're looking to continue to deepen your knowledge and expertise in this area, then this is a way to go. Now, some of you may be like, you know what, that's great, but I am absolutely ready today to take my speaking business to the next level. So for a few of you, that may be the case. I want to invite you to apply to BSN Premium membership. Applications are open for a BSN Premium membership. And basically, this is our flagship program for folks who are actively speaking and looking for more visibility, credibility, and consistency as a speaker. And so in this program, you're of course going to get access to, we send out over 15 weekly speaking opportunity alerts. You are going to get access to our BSN signature events that we hold throughout the year and that we only invite BSN Premium members to be a part of. We're going to add your profile to our online speakers directory, one of the largest directory of Black speakers anywhere online. We're going to give you access to our BSN Premium private Facebook group. So if you have questions or things that you need help with, or just other speakers that you want to connect with, you can do it separately from the public group. And then all types of other exclusive discounts, membership opportunities, etc. So BSN Premium membership, if you are interested in joining us for that, we invite you to apply. You can do that at bit.ly/BSN interest. bit.ly/BSN interest is where you apply. All the information about what the membership entails, the cost, investment, all of that is there. And I invite you to apply. Once you apply, you'll get an email back with the status of your application. If you're approved to join, the link to actually get started. So I invite you to apply today for that. Just want to share a few of our speakers who are absolutely getting the most out of their BSN membership. We have booked over 50 speakers so far just in 2021. It's like February right now. So we've booked over 50. We have a goal to book over 1,200 speakers. And so Quinn Conyers here, she is, we booked a 4-figure speaking engagement with her with a DC-based nonprofit organization. And she is super excited. She's been an amazing partner, and she has her own speaking brand as well as Speak Black Woman, as you can see there. Incredible organization. My guy, Mr. Carl, he actually just got booked. He was a BSN Spotlight speaker last year for one of our signature events, but then he also just got booked for the 2021 Merge Faith and Mental Health Summit. So guys, people are absolutely taking advantage. So again, if that's something you're interested in, make sure you head over to bit.ly/BSN interest to complete your application. It only takes a few moments, and then you could figure out how to take your speaking to the next level. Guys, it's been my absolute pleasure. This has been how to transform your voice into a money magnet for your speaking business. I hope that you have gotten tremendous amount of value from this. Let's keep in touch. Feel free to follow me at Brian J. Olds. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and Clubhouse, or on Instagram only. You can follow at Black Speakers Network as well. Feel free to drop me a message. Let me know that you were here, or better yet, screenshot this, send it out, share it. Make sure you tag the Afro. Make sure that you tag anybody else from the that you've seen here today at the Black Business Matters Expo. This has been an incredible experience, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage. So as we always say here at BSN, keep speaking up because your audience awaits, and I will see you next time. Have an amazing day.